What's going on? We're Mike Kadlick, Taylor Kyles here outside of Gillette Stadium as the Patriots get ready to take on the Miami Dolphins this weekend from Foxborough, and they're going to do so with some reinforcements. Kendrick Bourne, who has been on the PUP list for the last 4 weeks, returned to practice today. Now, don't know if he'll be out there for this game, but he actually returns to the practice field today. Gerard Mayo said there would be a chance that some of these guys returning could get out there on Sunday, but we'll see what happens. Bourne was fired up, dancing around like the old KB.
Of course.
So something exciting to look forward to from the wide receiver room. Now, again, don't know if it's going to be this Sunday, Taylor, but once he does return to the game field, what can Kendrick Bourne bring to this wide receiver room for the Patriots?
I think it brings a level of consistency that they really haven't had from the veterans. Now, Demario Douglas, we know he's getting open, but for some reason, Jacoby Brissett just doesn't seem to be targeting him.
Yep.
We did see Jalen Polk's involvement start to wrap up, but again, he's a rookie, and you saw that at times. There were a couple of drops, just missed opportunities, and that's going to happen for a first-year guy. But outside of those two, it's been very disappointing.
Yep.
KJ Osborne really hasn't made an impact after making a few notable plays this summer where we thought that he'd be part of a downfield attack, and then Tyquan Thornton really been more of a decoy. We kind of touched on that after the game. He has not been the problem with this offense, and I don't want to paint it that way, but at the same time, I think he has maybe 5 catches, if that, and only
a lot of
one
targets, yeah.
On a lot of targets. I know he drew a pass interference on one. He had a big catch downfield against the Bengals, but really, I can't even think of many more contributions he's made as a pass catcher and even as a blocker. Like he had the play this weekend where they tried to run a toss his way and he wasn't able to make the crack block. Now, typically, he is a good blocker. I don't want to, make it seem like he's not good in that regard, but Kendrick Bourne is a bigger guy. He's someone who has plenty of NFL experience, plenty of NFL snaps under his belt. He's a crafty route runner, has strong hands, more downfield ability than he gets credit for. He may have less explosiveness. That's to be expected, less than a year off of his ACL tear. But at the same time, you know what you're going to get out of him. I think he'll be someone else who can get open for them, someone that Jacoby Brissett should be able to trust, especially on the outside. And I think he's going to be a big boost and maybe create a more consistent and, I don't want to say formidable trio, but a more solid trio of receivers than what I think they've had out there.
For sure. The Patriots also get defenders Sione Takitaki, linebacker, and safety Marte Mapu return to the practice field today, both coming off injuries who didn't really participate at all this summer. They lose Jawan Bentley. Kyle Duggar now dealing with an ankle injury at safety. So what do these two bring to a defense that continues to lose guy to injury?
Yeah, Sione Takitaki, he kind of overlaps with Jelani Tavai, to be honest. They're both those adjusters where you play some weak side linebacker, then you bump down on the line of scrimmage in certain packages, but at least it's depth. Jelani Tavai can be that middle linebacker for them. Sione Takitaki played all over the place for the Browns defense, and on every down as well. That's something I don't think they have, is Jelani Tavai with the Patriots really wasn't a dime linebacker. He said he wanted to earlier this offseason, but we haven't really seen a whole lot of that except for when Jawan Bentley was hurt. Raekwon McMillan, I will say, was much more solid last week as their middle linebacker. But as we said, there's not a ton of depth. We saw, especially on the edge, when Anthony Jennings went down, you had Joshua Uche and even Curtis Jacobs who had to fill in. That's not a great spot to put those guys in. So at least Takitaki gives you a little more depth both on the edge on early downs. Not so much as a pass rusher. I don't think that's his role, but another cerebral guy with NFL experience. Then Marte Mapu, a guy that obviously I was psyched about last year. Had some bumps and bruises along the way as a rookie, but also made some crazy plays like the interception he had where he baited Patrick Mahomes. He's got a lot of talent. I know that Gerard Mayo talked about him helping out with the linebackers, but today, notably, he was working with the safeties because while every safety on the Patriots roster plays some amount of linebacker. It's just for certain packages, but you're also playing deep. You're playing in the slot, so you can't really be in those linebacker meetings because you're learning different roles. Now, Mapu didn't practice much at all in the summer. I think he went down after 2 or 3 practices.
It was the second or third practice, yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be a similar situation with really all of these guys because Kendrick Bourne and Sione Takitaki weren't there in the summer either. Kendrick Bourne hasn't done anything because he was recovering, so I want to temper expectations, but at the end of the day, Jabril Peppers wasn't at practice today. Kyle Duggar might miss extensive time, so having a guy like Marte Mapu who does have talent, even if you'd like to see more from him mentally, that at least gives you a bit more options.
Yeah, for sure. Patriots dealing with a bunch of injuries through 4 weeks, but get 3 guys back at practice today in Kendrick Bourne, Sione Takitaki, and Marte Mapu. See if they can help them out along the way. Make sure to check us out here at Patriots Press Pass, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel, like the video, and read all of our written work over at clnsmedia.com.